Welcome back. That's how it went down on the Hangout. Different perspectives on how that screening went last week. But let's just switch our attention now back to the studio, and we've been joined by a public affairs analyst, Ileo Kikio. Thanks for coming on the program.
Yeah, it's my pleasure being here, Victor.
The usual things we used to hear during ministerial screenings back in those days, the issue of Ghana must go and Ghana must go, and all those things didn't come up this time around. Do you think it's a good development?
I'll show you, Victor.
Yeah, well, we didn't hear it. At least it was rumored the previous times. This time around, there was no rumor and there was no report. So,
well, in a way, I think I'm a bit satisfied with the way the Senate has been going about the ministerial screening so far. Even though the way it is, it's been programmed, you know, that they're going to fail. Because, I mean, there's no way in the world where you nominate ministers and you don't attach their portfolios to it. So, I mean, how do you expect the Senate to screen them? You can imagine the likes of Chief Audu Ogbe, who has been an agricultural expert all the days of his life. You know, he had to answer questions on Boko Haram and education and all of those things. So I think if the presidency had, you know, attached the likely portfolio of those ministerial nominees to the list forwarded to the Senate, I think, you know, we could have had a better thing. But I think so far they did very well.
So do you think it is business as usual? Were you satisfied with the responses?
Well, I was a bit disappointed, especially when the Senate had initially told us that there was no more bow and go. You know, but you could imagine that when a senator, a former senator, you know, came up for screening, the minority leader in person of the former governor of Akwa Ibom State, Senator Godwin Akpabio, actually raised the motion on the floor of the Senate, you know, that he should ban go as a former senator. And of course, the entire Senate obliged.
So, but what about the responses? Because, like you said now, there was no portfolio attached or likely portfolio attached to those nominees, and they had to respond to questions. I mean, questions from different aspects that they are not even versed in, but they just had to come up with answers. How would you say you were? How would you say they performed in answering those questions?
Well, they didn't do bad. You know, as far as I'm concerned, a lot of them did pretty well. The likes of the former governor of Ekiti State, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, he did beautifully well. Same thing with the present managing director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, Dr. Ibe Kachuku. I mean, he wowed the entire nation, and a couple of them. Same thing too with the former governor of Lagos State, Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola. Even though I was a bit disappointed in the fact that, you know, when he was asked about the alleged corruption that took place under his watch, you know, he simply waved off the question, which, I mean, talking about the fact that he spent 139 million naira, you know, to build just 2 boreholes. I mean, I wasn't really impressed with his answers, and I would have preferred the senators, at least one of the senators, to ask him if he was the managing director of a particular company, you know, and someone under him spent 139 million naira, you know, just to build two boreholes.
But there was a case of the 78 million naira website.
I mean, it's just a sad case. And what did he say? He said that he's not responsible for signing checks. Well, I mean, you're the governor of the state. The buck stops at your table, you know, and it's a pity that, you know, he was cleared.
Well, we still have another batch coming on. What do you expect to see?
Well, I'm hoping that something will be done on the case of the former governor of Rivers State, Mr. Rotimi Amici, because I know that he still has some cases in the court of law. So I prefer the Senate.
Is it in the court yet? Or,
yeah, I know.
There's a report by a panel of inquiry.
Yeah, he himself, he has approached the court, you know, to say that the Senate can actually stop him from being sworn based on, you know, the report of the panel of inquiry. So I'd prefer the Senate to still stay action. You know, so whatever they do would not be subject. Just let the court come out with his findings, and if he's cleared, I mean, he would come back for his screening. But I think for now, I mean, he should still be asked to sit down.
All right. Well, we have to wait and see how that plays out when the Senate resumes tomorrow. That's on Tuesday.
Yeah,
So, but for that, thank you for coming on the program. We have to leave it here. Ileo Okikio, public affairs analyst. Thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me, Victor.
Well, that's where we have to leave this segment also of the interview, but we do see your comments coming through our social media platforms. We're going to take a look at some of them and also look at the videos that you watched the most on our YouTube channel in the past week. Please stay with us.
All distinguished senators in this chamber, good afternoon.
Topping the charts from the bottom is the screening of former Chief of Army Staff General Abdurrahman Dambazao advocating for the review of Nigeria's defense policy. Fourth is the video of suspected Boko Haram members being handed over to the authorities by their families.
Final list of ministerial nominees.
The third most viewed video in the past week is that of the Nigerian Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, reeling out the names on the second ministerial nominees list sent by the President, Muhammadu Buhari. In second place is former Governor of Lagos State, Babatunde Fashola, responding to questions over allegations that he spent bogus amounts of money to carry out projects when in office.
Truth be told, all of these things, nobody has alleged that I have corruptly enriched myself. And I couldn't be the master of all of computers, technology. I need something to do my work. And you make procurement in Senate. Who knows how much, who is involved in how much you buy biro and stationery?
And in first place is the drama that ensued when the publicity secretary of the APC, Alhaji Lai Muhammad, stood before the Senate during the ministerial nominee screening.
Mr. President,
Well, there you go. That's how it went down on that part of the program. Of course, the comments that you sent in through our social media platforms and also the videos that you watched the most on our YouTube channel in the past week. Now, Nigerians may be raising concerns over the kind of questions being asked the nominees, the failure to attach portfolios to the nominees' names before they appeared before the Senate, and so forth. But that notwithstanding, it remains the duty of those confirmed to perform to the best of their ability when in office to justify their inclusion in the Nigerian cabinet. We end the program on this note, but continue via the social media addresses showing on your screen. I am Victor Matthias. Thank you for watching.